Imagine humans slowly losing nearly all the thick fur covering their bodies, but for some reason, two tiny strips directly above the eyes refuse to disappear. That is basically what happened. Our ancestors became unusually hairless compared with other primates, yet humans kept scalp hair, eyelashes, and two extremely noticeable eyebrows. So why did evolution remove the fur but keep those? The first strange fact is that humans are not actually as hairless as we appear. Your body still contains millions of hair follicles, and humans may have a follicle density surprisingly similar to other primates. The major difference is what those follicles produce. A chimpanzee grows long, thick, visible hairs across most of its body. Most human body follicles produce tiny, thin hairs that are difficult to see, so humans did not completely lose their fur. Much of it became miniature. Why would that happen? One leading explanation involves something humans are unusually good at doing: sweating. Humans have an enormous number of sweat glands spread across the skin. When sweat evaporates, it removes heat from the body. That cooling system helped our ancestors remain active in hot environments, travel long distances, and possibly chase animals during the hottest parts of the day. But thick fur creates a problem. It traps moisture near the skin and makes evaporation less efficient. Gradually reducing thick body hair may have allowed sweating to cool the body much more effectively. This does not mean scientists know one exact moment when humans became mostly hairless. Hair and skin rarely survive as fossils, and several pressures may have contributed. Reduced fur may also have lowered the number of parasites living on the body, or made healthy skin easier for potential partners to see. Whatever the combination was, visible body hair became much finer, but evolution did not remove every patch equally. Hair follicles in different parts of your body follow different instructions. Scalp hair can keep growing for years. Eyelashes stop after reaching a short length. Beard hair changes during puberty. Arm hair stays relatively fine. That means evolution could reduce thick fur across most of the body without automatically removing every useful patch. And eyebrows happen to be sitting in an extremely useful place. Imagine an ancient human moving across an open landscape under intense heat. Sweat begins pouring from the forehead. Without anything redirecting it, salty water runs directly into the eyes. That hurts. It blurs vision. It forces you to wipe your face. And if you are hunting, climbing, carrying something, or running from danger, temporarily losing clear vision is more than an inconvenience. The curved shape of the eyebrow and the direction of its hairs can help catch some of that moisture and guide it toward the sides of the face. Eyebrows can also help intercept rain, dust, and small particles before they reach the eyes. So one possible answer is simple. Humans lost fur partly to improve cooling, but kept eyebrows because the new sweating system created a reason to protect the eyes from all that moisture. But that still does not explain everything. If eyebrows were only tiny sweat barriers, humans could have kept two boring, motionless strips of hair. Instead, we gained eyebrows capable of conducting entire conversations. Raise both eyebrows, and you can express surprise, recognition, uncertainty, or a silent question. Pull them downward, and you can show anger, concern, confusion, or concentration. Raise only one, and you can communicate doubt without saying a single word. Sometimes an eyebrow movement says more than an entire sentence and causes considerably less trouble. That ability became especially useful because human survival depended heavily on cooperation. A hunting partner needed to know whether you had noticed something. A parent needed to see that a child was frightened. Someone approaching an unfamiliar group needed to appear friendly instead of threatening. People working together had to exchange information quickly, sometimes without making noise. Eyebrows helped turn the face into a communication system. Earlier human species often had larger, heavier brow ridges above their eyes. Modern humans developed flatter foreheads and more visibly mobile eyebrows. Some researchers have proposed that as those heavy ridges became smaller, subtle eyebrow movements became easier for other people to see. Instead of a fixed, bony structure above the eyes, humans gained two flexible signals. This may seem like a small change, but humans constantly study one another's faces. We look for tiny signs of fear, trust, anger, confusion, and attention. A slight eyebrow movement can warn another person that something is wrong before anyone speaks. Modern experiments show that eyebrow movements can even change how conversations unfold. When a listener furrows their eyebrows in confusion, the speaker may respond by explaining something more clearly or adding detail. The eyebrows are silently telling the other person, "That explanation made absolutely no sense. Please try again." But eyebrows do something even stranger. They help make your face recognizable. Researchers once tested how well people could identify famous faces after different features were removed from photographs. Removing the eyebrows made recognition surprisingly difficult, sometimes even more difficult than removing the eyes. That sounds ridiculous until you imagine familiar people without eyebrows. Their faces may still contain the same eyes, nose, and mouth, yet suddenly they look sick, unfamiliar, or like a slightly disturbing replacement. Eyebrows differ in thickness, spacing, curve, height, color, and movement. Those differences help create the visual pattern your brain uses to identify someone. So the two strips may have survived because they became useful in several ways at the same time. They helped redirect sweat and protect the eyes. They made emotions and intentions easier to read. They allowed silent coordination, and they became part of the visual signature that separates one human face from another. There probably was not one dramatic generation in which every human lost a fur coat while two heroic eyebrows held on for dear life. The changes happened gradually. Body hair became finer, sweating became more important, faces changed, human groups became increasingly dependent on social communication, and throughout those changes, eyebrow hair remained useful enough that evolution had little reason to remove it. That is how evolution usually works. It does not design a perfect body from scratch. It edits whatever already exists. It reduces one feature, preserves another, and sometimes gives an old structure several new jobs. Human eyebrows may look like two leftover pieces of a vanished fur coat, but they are not meaningless leftovers. They are tiny eye shields, identity markers, and social signals positioned directly above the part of your face everyone watches most closely. Humans lost most of their visible fur, but eyebrows became far too useful and far too expressive to disappear.